Hey, coaches. Today we're going to look again at the coach's presence. As always, the idea of coaching presence has to do with who you are in the moment of a coaching session for the client, how you are holding yourself, the way they perceive you, and the way you are demonstrating your care for them, your interest in their development, your presence, being fully dedicated to the work that they're doing in the coaching session. Presence is one of those harder ones to measure within an assessment, but putting aside the ICF assessment expectations and just looking at what you get to do and who you get to be for your coaches or for your clients, let's take a moment and really consider one of the most important aspects of coaching presence that you need to take into account as you grow as a professional coach. How you can challenge yourself to be more and more effective, even in the small, subtle ways in your coaching presence. We turn to the ideas of cognitive behavioral work, where we know that there's an impact of our thoughts on our emotional state and on our behaviors. This is directly tied to our experience as coaches. Our coaching presence is directly impacted by our thoughts, which leads to our emotional state and will be demonstrated in our behaviors in the coaching session, in our tone, in our pacing, in how clipped our words might be, in our body language and our eyes, everything that we bring into that session, whether it's on audio only, live in person, or via Zoom or other digital platform. Our thoughts are going to be transferred to the client because our thoughts impact our emotions, impact our presence, and our presence will impact our client. So as they see us, will they see someone who is angry or carrying some anger through those little subtle cues? When they see that potential anger, will they say to themselves, man, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not giving the right answer. Or instead, will they see, regardless of the thoughts that might have preceded the coaching session, will they see a coach who holds themselves in a state of care, thinking first of how they care about this individual and how, regardless of what else was off the stage of the coaching session, I'm here right now for this client to care about their growth and development? Will they see judgment because we are a bit disappointed in ourselves or someone else in our life? Or because this client might have showed up 5 minutes late? And so will our behaviors, our tone, the way we show up, demonstrate judgment? Or will we set aside those thoughts and choose mindfully that my number one goal here, regardless of what happened beforehand, is to make this a safe space for my client, to truly believe that, and therefore to relax, trust the coaching process, and to believe that you're there to create the safe space for the client? Will they see a client or a coach who's bored because they're tired at the end of the day? Or they see a coach who's activated, charged, and engaged because this is their life's work. This is why they are here, to serve their client. They're excited about the process and opportunity. Will the client see a coach who is a bit hopeless because this is the third time that the client has demonstrated a failure? Or the coaches could demonstrate hopelessness because it's the third time they've lost a contract, something that happened outside of the coaching session. And they're bringing those thoughts, they're bringing those emotions, and therefore bringing the behavior that demonstrates and transfers a sense of hopelessness, frustration over to the client because it's impacting our presence. Or, regardless of what happened inside or outside of the session, in the session itself, will you as a coach choose to look at the potential of your client during a session and engage with them from an attitude of hope and trust. Now, this is outside of accountability structures. We've talked about those before, but the way you think about your client in the midst of the session, do you think of them as someone who is very capable, someone who is full of potential, full of opportunity? And right now, right here in the session, I'm excited for what they get to choose by the end of the session. And those thoughts are the ones that should be most present in the coaching session, because we are on stage to present. As you think about your presence in the session, I really do want you to think about how, as you prepare for a session, you do need to empty yourself of your thinking so that you have space in your thoughts and emotions, and even in your presence, your behaviors, for what the client needs from you. I said it from the very beginning. Coaches are not paid to be their authentic selves. We're paid to be open. We follow a process. We make sure it's around growth and development. We make sure to honor the boundaries of coaching and other domains, but we're there for the client. Remember who you are for your client, and how your thoughts, if they are focused on yourself, those emotions that naturally flow out of those thoughts will in some way likely be transferred to your client, and you need a way to recover. And you need to practice that recovery, observe your recovery, and believe in the process of coaching. Even if you have those moments of doubt in your own ability, believe in the value of the coaching process, and believe in your client for their ability to make up for whatever you're lacking that day. Trust in them. Look to them with expectancy, and offer that expectancy through the thoughts you have, which impact your feeling, your emotions, which impact the way you present yourself in the session. You're on the stage. Recover when you falter. Believe that this is the right moment. The show must go on for the client and their development. And practice your ability to recover so that they are able to fully embrace the coaching experience with you there as their steady partner in exploration. Thank you for coaching.